welcome back to Rocket League DreamHack Championship here in Sweden. I said there was the last match of the day. We don't even know quite yet. This might be the last match. We might have some others because we've gotten pretty far ahead of schedule. We might be able to do some more stuff. We'll find out here. Just stay tuned. I will update you as soon as I know. I am being told the next match is Method versus Aero, a team we have not seen yet.
No, we've seen actually both of these teams now.
We've
Is
seen
it Aero
Aero?
Kings? Aero Kings?
Oh,
Aero
Aero
King.
King.
They didn't give you the whole name,
Okay.
that's why.
That makes more sense. Okay, I was like, man, I can't believe there's a whole team I haven't even heard of yet.
Yeah,
Aero
that's
Kings.
that's Cheerios boys.
That's Cheerios team, exactly. So we're going to see another team of top players up against Method, a team from RLCS. Interesting matchup here.
Yeah, I'm going to be looking again for Method. I believe in Method. Just even though they had the tough loss earlier, I think they're going to bounce back in this series. And I'm going to look for Cheerios team, Aero Kings, to put up a fight, though. They're a talented group. I play them a lot on ladder. They're very talented players, and it'll be an interesting series. I think it might go to the third game. I don't know if it'll be a sweep.
And Method going to look to bounce back here after dropping 2 out of Penta in a heartbreakingly close matchup here. What are y'all's thoughts about probably the mentality of Method right now coming off that loss?
I think Method will definitely want to bounce back at this point in time, but the thing is, they lost to a team that we roughly rate about the same as them in the form of Penta. So they'll be looking at this one just going, yeah, this is a lower rated team. We probably should take this. And it's that feeling of a lot of players when they lose, they are highly competitive. They want to go and play again. Not many teams just sort of go, oh, we lost, okay, I'm sort of done now. No, they'll want to go back in there and they'll want to prove that they actually should be in tomorrow's top 8.
I feel like this match is more Method versus themselves than Method versus Aero Kings. If Aero Kings do take games or a game or the series, I think it'll be due to Method completely failing in their defense and just getting in each other's way, stealing each other's boost, not trusting each other in goal. I don't think Aero Kings will have anything that Method can't deal with. So if Method can just play a safe strategy and make sure not to get in each other's way, I really don't think that they're going to have too much trouble dispatching Aero Kings here.
Well, I think this is a good opportunity for Aero Kings here. Coming as Method, this is most likely, I believe, the only matches we have left for the day are elimination matches where one team goes home and one team qualifies for top 8. Aero Kings going to be facing off against a disheartened Method here. If there's any team they could take advantage of and qualify for the top 8 in the best upset we'd have had of the day, it's Aero Kings right now. But as you said, if there's a situation for Method where we lose a game and then we have to face off in an elimination match, this is the matchup they wanted.
And this is a thing that we've seen actually quite a few times during the RLCS in terms of a team will drop to the lower bracket and then they'll drop immediately out. They will. It's that case of having to take on 2 games almost immediately, and we also saw it during league play when a lot of teams would have to play twice in a row. This time around, it's not quite the same. They've had a long time now, just to sort of, I mean, it's not a long time, but it's enough time to cool your head, have a little bit of a chat with each other, maybe even get a scrim in, just chill out a little bit and put the loss to the back of your mind.
If I'm Aero Kings right now, I want to come out of the gate hot and take it right to Method as soon as possible and put the doubt in their head early. So if I'm Aero Kings, Cheerio, maybe he can step up, score early on them, take game 1 and get it into Method's head that they're done.
What do you think about the opposite side of the coin if they just sit back and frustrate Method? We saw Survivors tried to do that to Prophecy, and it worked to some degree. They were making close games out of it because they just sat back and they were hoping Prophecy would get frustrated by their failure to create chances that were of any worth.
Yeah,
and this could happen to Method. I could see them getting frustrated if they just start missing, and then the overcommits might happen more often.
Yeah, if it was what you said earlier, where it's kind of like if you're talking about Method playing against themselves, if they have that kind of mentality and they are frustrated with themselves, they come in and Aero Kings sits back and plays that defensive zone. They can't break through. Maybe Aero Kings waits for them to make that mistake where they commit 2 and then they can counterattack, and that works the exact same way.
I don't know these days. I just don't think that works anymore. It hasn't worked in so long, and I think you actually have to take the game to these teams from now on. There is no such thing as a hope we go on to win, because it just doesn't happen. I mean, we sort of thought that might have been the way that Set to Destroy actually went on to beat Iris, went and looked at the VODs. Not really the case. It was much more of a let's go for the ball sort of thing.
It was ball chasing.
And yeah, you have to start playing the game.
Well,
you really do.
You can also look at it from the point of any way that you can frustrate your opponent to cause a mistake can work in your favor.
Also a possibility. Lots of strategies. We'll see what they employ when we get to watch the match, which will be coming up ever so quickly. But Karma, we have to get you to settle something here. We just tried to decide which
yeah.
car was the prettiest car of the day, and every one of the boys picked one car, so we had a 4-way tie, which means you literally get to define. You are the tiebreaker. Is it Nyx with the Dracos, the Heat Wave, and the Ion all green? Is it Colorblind, Voltaic, and Lightning all yellow? Is it Kappa or Keppa with his Dominus GT, the RLCS decal, the Sweden logo, the Sweden flag? Or is it Flarky with his bubbly tiara, rose, and sparkles, his WW5 SPs from the Hot Wheels DLC?
As much as I respect the Flarky tiara, I'm going to have to go with my boy Nyx.
Nyx,
I've liked him from the very beginning. He's had the green rolling, the green Dracos, the green Heat Wave. Loved it. So I'm going to give it to Nyx.
I think that was between you and Lawler. You give him 2 votes, and he is the winner of day number 1. We'll do it all again tomorrow. And I want to see which.
Can I just point out that the moment you started reading all of this out, we actually had the music.
Oh, the music.
Come on.
Yeah, did you hear? I thought that was on purpose.
Oh, I really wish it was. It was.
It was perfect.
It was on purpose.
My immersion's ruined now.
It was perfect.
Realize.
It was honestly, it felt like a game show, or like one of those reality shows where everyone's sort of singing or performing some sort of talent-related thing. It's like waiting, and we should have waited a little bit longer for Karma to announce who she thought
They needed
was the best.
a camera they could like zoom in on her face and then zoom in on mine, like being really intent, like I don't know what to choose, and then wipe to a commercial break. And we'll find out afterwards, because that's also how those shows go. But congratulations to Nyx, they win that series. But here on the line right now, between these two teams, we'll have 2 more matches. We'll have this match and then 1 more. Both of these are elimination. Both of these, one team qualifies for tomorrow. Everything on the line with these last 2 matches.
Yep, certainly is, and we've got to be looking towards this now. Exactly how this very first game goes will probably be telling for the rest of the series. Like I said earlier, very few games so far have gone to game number 3. So honestly, if you can take that first one, highly likely that you go on to take on the entire series.
I'm trying to recall, who was it that Aero Kings lost to earlier when they were on stream?
Prophecy.
Oh, it was Prophecy. Okay, so
We just qualified.
Yeah. So that's a team that we at the time thought was probably the closest matchup of the day at that moment. It might still be, although we've seen a couple of closer matches towards the end of the day. And I think that loss to Prophecy, it's a team that play quite similarly to Method or Prophecy. They like to focus on their aerial game, and they want to score good-looking goals. I'll put it like that. So this could be bad news for Aero Kings if they are up against a similar team who are probably better at that style, in my opinion.
Just keep in mind also, the winner of these next 2 games also wins money.
Yep.
For the first
you
time in
qualify
DreamHack.
into the money.
Yep.
So that would be
there's a lot more on the line.
It'll be tough tomorrow.
Just
They're
top
going to
8.
be going in as a 2nd seed team, so it'll be
Yeah,
a
that's
really
true.
tough draw. There are going to be 8 teams tomorrow, and we've seen all of the teams play on stream. So you know who we're looking out for. We're looking out for Flipside. We're looking out for Gale Force. We're looking out for Penta, who took down Method earlier. And there will be one other team who go in undefeated. I think it won't be decided after this.
Diffused Kids, probably?
Is it Diffused Kids?
I would imagine them doing
I think
that.
it was Diffused Kids. Yeah, I think
Did
we
you
had the
include
winners already.
Flipside
Oh yeah,
in there?
so that's
no.
yeah. So that's really rough. Going up against one of those 4 teams as your reward for winning this series. Congratulations.
And I feel like for Aero Kings do have their work cut out for them. We saw in the Season 3 of RLCS that Method, formerly known as Secrecy and then Resonant, was one of the scrappier teams that we saw playing here. Against teams like Flipside, they were able to take it to Game 5 over and over again, beating them in league play, almost beating them in the playoffs. A team that, when they were down, when they would make mistakes, continued to bounce back and be able to take these games far. So if there's a team that I'm going to rely on, that I'm going to count on being able to push through a previous loss, I think Method can absolutely do it right here. Aero Kings is going to have to really take it to them early on. I think I agree with Karma here that they really need to score early in this game number 1 if they want to have a chance of winning.
Is that a prediction, Wave?
I'm a host. I don't make predictions. Speaking of
2-0.
which, what are you guys' predictions here?
2-0 Method.
I'm going to go with Method as well.
Yeah, I'll go with Method as well.
I've been supporting them the entire tournament. I still think that they have a chance to take it all if they get their hot streak. They figure their problems out. I think they're a really good team.
Anybody
They're
got a game
solid
3?
group.
Game 3 here?
I wouldn't mind seeing one though. I wouldn't mind seeing one just to see how Method can deal with
a game
game 3.
I could see a game 3.
So Aero Kings takes game 2 then?
Game 1.
Game 1.
But you said if they take game 1, then they're going to be able. They're going to get Method's
I
head.
think they might, but I don't know. I have a feeling game 1 might go to Aero Kings. I don't know why, but
Okay.
I'll believe in Method.
Well, we'll see what happens. As we said, Method, a scrappy team that can.
If
bounce
they take
back.
game 1, I think that's their best chance of winning.
Cool.
For sure.
Well, I'm excited.
That's Korean advice if I've ever heard it. What's the best way to win a best of 3? Well, start off by winning the first game.
Win the first one and then win the second
Yeah,
one. And win
because
the
Unless
third
you're
it's
one.
a
playing against
momentum
leftovers.
factor, you know what I mean?
Don't
You
take
get in
game one
their
against
head.
leftovers, the reverse sweep kings.
That's true.
And if we're going to have a reverse sweep here, Karma thinks it's going to come from Method. We're all certainly not too sad if it does go to a game 3, Shogun.
No, we are certainly not. Been very few of those so far today, but never argue against a good old game 3. Maybe not even argue against a good old game 5, which we'll be getting into tomorrow. Remember, quarterfinals and semifinals tomorrow are best of 5, grand finals best of 7, and we will be looking forward to that. Hopefully we will see you here tomorrow for those, as we are going to be focusing our efforts on Method versus Aero Kings. The first 30 seconds down now, and both these teams just trying to start controlling around the field. As Solif will put it into the corner, and there's going to be a long time Method choosing to just allow it to roll, and it's going to result in Radio having an opportunity to take a pop shot to the top left-hand corner, and there we go. Method find themselves down. Karma starting to look very correct here.
Yeah, Karma's grinning ear to ear. She thinks she might be right. And I don't blame her. That was some really nice positioning at the far post by Radio. He knew that the ball was almost certain to clear across that angle, and he had it covered with time to spare, even throwing a backflip shot for good measure.
And Radio, I believe, has been on quite a few top teams. I think he's played with MRVN, I believe his name is.
Yeah.
There's been a couple of teams around for him, so he's a very experienced player, but at the same time, a lot of experienced players have struggled to break into what is a hotly contested top of the European pyramid. But this is a good as opportunity as any, as Solif and Cheerio both work together to push this straight into the side, but Method will be very almost methodical. I don't mean that pun intentionally. It's just the way that they do seem to play, taking their time, pull defensive apart.
But the answer to our question has come through. How are Aero Kings going to start this? Well, they're going to take it to Method. They're not interested in waiting for Method to make the mistake and beat themselves. They want to beat them in their half, forcing that mistake. And that is something I respect. They are not wanting to go out without a fight. They want to play the game on their terms, and right now that is working. Cheerio doubles the lead. Again, Method struggling with the very basic center ball.
Yep, once again comes out. There was almost no need for Magnus to go for that. He would have known that it was going to bounce immediately off the side, but no one there, and it almost seems like there is no challenge right now on any of these Aero Kings balls. So honestly, why not just keep going for it? At this moment in time, Method are too slow. They just seem to be almost in a recovery phase, just still bouncing back from that previous loss and just putting everything too basic that it's now no longer really operating on an elite level. As that's a lovely shot by a lot. I believe, Johnny, that is a boomer.
That is a boomer. That is a zinger. It's anything you want to call it. That was a fast shot. He had a lot of time and he just slams it right over the top of the goalkeeper's head. Pre-jump necessary to save that one, and there was none in sight. Method back in the game, but still one more goal required if they want to tie this up and look to get game 1 in their favor. Will Aero Kings continue to push up aggressively now with Method getting a goal in their favor?
Well, that goal can always be pretty jolting, but I think we have the answer right there. Solif looking to try and push that one straight through. As now Aero Kings are going to find themselves a little bit further back, but well done by Radio, using that side of the wall to keep the ball up high. And Metznaris will be the player on Method that we will look to really step up and control the pace of the game. But so far, he seems like he's out of boost almost all the time, incapable of really affecting the game too much.
I don't think Method are respecting the aerial capability of the Aero Kings, as a few times now they've lobbed the ball forward, hoping that there will be no challenge coming through. But there is indeed, as Magnus looks to hit the ball right into Metznaris for the point-blank range pinch. Fortunately for them, they will not connect on this occasion. Still plenty of time and plenty of opportunities starting to create themselves. Metznaris was on net, but now there's no defense. And the ball will go in. Cheerio end to end. Another lapse in concentration causes an easy goal. A lot more concerned with boost stealing than defending the net.
And Cheerio, I think if there was any more risky way of him taking that shot, he would have to tell me, because he could have just pushed it with the front end of his car straight into the net.
I don't think he realized how open it was.
I think that's the case for a lot of players. You play against these top teams, it's like, okay, the rotation is always going to be as best as it can possibly. There's no way they can ever make a mistake. Oh my goodness, there's an open goal ahead of me. I'm just going to hit it really hard.
Yeah, I really don't think he expected a lot to take that really wide line, especially with the center ball coming in from Magnus, and Metza already up for it. Committing a third player to a boost steal in that situation is rare. Aero Kings have had so many opportunities here. They're connecting with the back wall of Method, and no one is there from Method to meet the ball on the half volley, which is so unusual at the highest level. These consistent back wall hits are often punished by half volley wall clears, which are currently not present in the Method strategy book. Only a minute left now. What are they going to do to try and get this game back in their favor?
Well, a simple factor of it is get some goals. They have got 2 goals to find and have really struggled to get themselves any opportunities on the net, as this might be an opportunity for Aero Kings to continue to increase their lead. This is finally going to be Metznaris. He's got the ball. He goes for the pass, but it was too close to the defenders. Could have done with cutting it further in field. And final 30 seconds here, and that is going to be a big goal for Method. They have now brought it within 1.
We saw Aero Kings take the lead with the far side being used, and now Metznaris is in that little pocket at the far post. Anything that drops down is his ball, and he booms it top right. 1 goal the difference. Game face on Linus. Will he be able to rally the troops? Under 30 seconds now. That's all that remains for Method to try and get back into game 1. 1 shot gets swatted away by Solith. 15 seconds now. Getting very close.
Oh, that's
to all-in moves. Cheerio reactive defending in an extremely, extremely close position, but it will be rewarded. 5 seconds left. Will they be able to tie this game? Method, it doesn't look like it's going to be possible. A struggle to keep this ball alive, and it will die. Aero Kings take game 1. Karma called it. If there's going to be a game that these boys take against their arguably superior opponents, it's going to be game 1, and she predicted the way it was going to happen as well. They took it right to Method, pressured them into their half, caused problems, hit the backboard, made opportunities, and they took them.
But it must be said, that was not the Method I was expecting at all. What has changed here? Are we seeing different here to a Method we would see on an online tournament, say?
I just don't think that they're reading the back wall like they usually do. I've seen Method comfortably defend high balls, high passes off the back wall above their own goal with half volley wall clears or with just simple catches and carries down the wall. I've not seen any of that in this game 1, at least. They're letting the ball hit the back wall uncontested. We saw Magnus flailing a shot which was hitting the post flat. He thought it was going in, and that presented an open net for the 2-0 lead. They really just have to try and get in position to intercept these back wall passes, because that seems to be the only way that Aero Kings are trying to create chances, but why would they change it if it's working so well?
Exactly, and Aero Kings 1 game away now from knocking out Method, the former Secrecy, the former Resonant.
We can't stress how big an upset that would be.
It would be huge. An RLCS team going down to a bubble team would absolutely prove just how much depth Europe has. As Radio is going to try and look for it, but Solith unable to find him. Metznaris will continue to try and press this one forward. Method will need to come out swinging right out of the gate here if they want to try and stop the current momentum of Aero Kings, who just look very solid at reading each other's potential touches and reacting if ever a mistake is made. That is not a mistake by any stretch of the imagination. Solith is in the right place at the right time. 1-0, Aero Kings continue their domination.
It's a beautiful pass down from Radio. Solith making the run downfield, gives his teammate the option, and then they secure the goal with a really, really fast passing play. Last man back for Method, not even close to making an interception. Struggling Method team on the day. They continue to have difficulty in defense. That is the main problem for them right now. A position that they're usually not in. They're very used to counter-attacking playstyle. That is how they have given Flipside trouble in the past. And right now, that playstyle is nowhere to be seen, as we're just seeing possession giveaway after giveaway. That needs to stop if Method want to come back in game 2 and then win game 3 as well. That's the journey that they need to make right now.
There's certainly a lot of work to do. Radio tries to make it even more work. Solif will not be able to get that, so a lot. Was expecting a pass from Magnus. It's going to leave Magnus actually by himself because it was Metanaris earlier, and a lot turns himself around and gets a big booming clear. Will continue to move this across. Magnus was too close to the ball, but there was going to be a follow-up by Metanaris. Brave play by him, but crucial play at the end of the day.
This is very messy from Magnus. He whiffs the ball in defense, doesn't get up for the open net finish, and almost saves Metanaris' shot on the goal line. This is not the cleanest we've ever seen from Method, but they're hanging on. They are finding goals, if nothing else. That's the third that they've scored this series. They just need to stop leaking goals in defense, which they really should have no business letting into their own goal.
Scrap, fight, and claw. Just get into day 2 in any way possible. Does not matter if it's pretty. It only counts as long as you win. As Magnus will take a shot that's directly at Solif. Holding himself on that goal line. Metanaris will not have the boost to try and follow it.
Big chance.
And he needs to start rotating himself back. As you can see, they seem to almost get a call in from Metanaris. They're just saying, look, I'm low on boost. The third player just thought about committing himself a little bit longer. Didn't want to make a huge costly mistake that could cost them a goal.
Method are starting to ramp up the pressure right now. The ball has been consistently in half, and the pre-jump denies the save. Magnus shoots low. Really well placed, as we see Radio on the line was expecting a top corner shot. Magnus backflips it right underneath them, and you can't dodge down in Rocket League. 2-1 Method, not the way we expected this to go. Very, very strange series here, Shogun.
Just the attempt, the desperation of trying to boost straight back down into the ball. Almost heartbreaking, but Method are 2 goals to the better. Could be 3 goals, but Cheerio is at the exact spot that the ball was shot from. That is going to be over in the corner. Aero Kings have got loads of time to bring it back. Radio does not want to commit. They do not want to be 2 goals to the deficit, as a lot will try and carry this across the floor. He's managed to get past 2 players, but Radio will rotate himself in. And Method, as you mentioned, just upping the pressure, upping the pace, and it is causing Aero Kings to make mistakes across the field. Mistakes that could cost them a place in day 2.
A back pass is a good sign for Metanaris, Magnus, and a lot. I did say they've been throwing away a lot of possession this game and the one prior, but if they're willing to back pass, that shows us that they've realized their mistake. If they can just hold on to the possession, I feel like they have the mechanical ability, they have the know-abouts in where to position, and they will be able to just close out the series based on superior skill. But it's all up to them. They've put themselves into this awkward position where they need to win to progress to day 2, and now will they have the mentality to carry them through?
Oh, shot almost went straight in, but Radio gets the save, and Magnus will be denied. Cheerio is going to leave it for the time being, just wants to keep this towards an offensive area, but at the same time also allows Magnus to push this straight towards an awaiting Metanaris, who had tried to get it away. But still, Aero Kings are around. Solif wanted to get a clean shot, but was denied. Still in this final third on the blue end. We are into the final minute. Aero Kings will not want to see game 3. That is where experience and true grit needs to be shown. They will want to avoid that at all costs and finish it off right now. And in order to do that, they need to get a goal. They need to keep pressuring this ball still in that final third. But now Metanaris can go on the counter-attack. He's going to keep taking it with him. He's got a lot onto the side. He's just put it too far back, but still the player did commit. A lot goes up high. Cheerio with the save. Another shot can come in, but no, a save yet again. Final 30 seconds, but Metanaris has put it back into a dangerous area, and Radio and Solif need to work together to get it out of their end. 20 seconds now, 10 seconds has flown by so quickly, and Aero Kings will continue to pressure onwards. That is a little bit too much angle, though, for any teammate to come through. Final 10 seconds. Radio cannot do anything with that. Metanaris will continue to waste time with getting a block. Radio puts it up high. There's an opportunity here. Goes up high, but Magnus has that one red. Still up in the air. Metanaris tries to go for it. He's going to put it straight down with the fake. Method take game number 2.
We do have the tie series. It's going to game 3. We said that this would not be a sad sight, and it certainly isn't. Method are fighting tooth and nail for this. A series which I'm sure they expected to be able to dispatch with pretty simply. But it seems like they might be shaken after their crushing loss to Penta earlier, one of their main rivals. And now they're struggling against a team who have been on the bubble in Europe for a long, long time. These players are names that we are familiar with, teaming up and performing as well as I've ever seen them play. They're a very awkward team to play against. Trying to just frustrate Method as much as possible by denying all of the things that Method love to do. They love to counterattack, they love to make aerial plays. Well, Aero, they're just going to sit back and let Method come at them. Prevent it at the last possible second on the goal line.
And I really say that I think I saw it a little bit more towards the end there. Metznaris, one of the reasons why they are so good at those counter-attacking plays, he is just so fantastic at seeing a line towards the net and just carrying the ball the entire way. The pass towards a lot wasn't quite as good as he was hoping, but still, definitely key points that Aero Kings will need to avoid as we go into our tie-breaking game. Game number 3 to make it through into the money at DreamHack Sweden. Who will make it? Let's find out.
And I do think that Method versus Method is continuing to some degree, as we've seen so many mistakes from them in the first game and indeed the second game. Not always resulting in a goal for Aero Kings, but I think that's mostly down to the fact that Aero Kings are not expecting these mistakes from Method. They respect Method a lot. And oh, the double touch so close for a lot. Good initial hit forward, air rolling at the last second into the ball to make sure that he doesn't take too much recoil.
And it's also one of those really scary things because Sod's Law dictates that the moment you start to believe that a team is going to make a mistake is the moment they start to fix it.
Oh,
and
I
a
love
lot
the
goes for the fake, but cannot quite make it. Method are coming out swinging, looking to capitalize on their win in Game 2.
This is so messy. Magnus finding himself facing the wrong way, getting bumped around in the opposition team's half. Not the cleanest game by Method, but they will not care at this point. They just want to get the job done. Aero Kings still looking for the biggest upset of the tournament so far. There have not been many upsets, if any at all. I think all of the upsets so far have been debatably upsets. But this would be unanimously an upset in the minds of all viewers and analysts, I'm sure. And all the players here, so much respect for the Method lineup. Accidental bump coming in on the goalkeeper, but there are 2 of them, so they're fine with that. Magnus making contact. It's important that he keeps to do so, or continues to do so, because that has been a problem for him this series, is making contact with the ball when he wants to.
And Aero Kings need to do a good job of keeping an eye on their boost meters. 2 times in a row there we saw players going up for balls that they didn't really have the boost for.
Oh my
word. They need to go for, indeed, Cheerio.
The timing on that clear.
Pretty ridiculous, using himself and the wall to propel the ball as fast as possible. That could be dangerous. Magnus, crucial touch from him.
3v1.
Here comes a lot. He goes straight for the shot directly at Solif, and now the counter-attacking opportunity, not quite there. And that is end-to-end. Neither of these teams picking up a goal in our final game of the day.
Solid says, forget 3v1, I'm going 1v3. Rattles the post and forces a defensive rebound just to stop him from scoring. After a lot, very, very carelessly gives him the ball. And Metznaris now trouble at the near post. Bar down and out. This is flailing at an own goal, I think. What is happening to Method?
They don't even believe it.
Method versus Method. I'm telling you, this is how they're going to lose if they do. Bar down. Magnus pre-jumps, and he tries to hit his own crossbar and whiffs completely. This is honestly bizarre. I don't know what I'm seeing. Method have to steady themselves and just try to beat the other team. Score into the orange goal, maybe,
and this
instead of the blue one.
This is honestly a reputation that Method will want to avoid. Close to beating Flipside Tactics, but they were not able to. If they then go on to lose this game, it will start to become a stigma that will be associated with them. So they do need to get the job done here. And they can start that by picking up their first goal that will tie up this game. As we are already down to 2 minutes remaining. This time has flown by in this final game. Big bump though, and Aero Kings could not quite get there in time before another player from Method rotated back into the net. Metznaris wants to keep that up high. He's got Magnus on that sidewall to aim for, who's got a lot to aim for. A lot. We'll try and put that one down, but Cheerio is in the way. Cheerio always springboarding himself, and it's over to Solar. 2 goals. They have got themselves a cushion.
Look at the panic. Metznaris opts into what was at best a 50-50 in a position where he's the last man back. Anytime he loses that 50-50, it's a goal for the opponents. And with 1 minute and 40 seconds on the clock, I really don't think that that was a necessary risk to take. Now they're down an additional goal. And with how they've been playing, this is a monumental task to come back from. Magnus, good hit to the backboard, does get cleared well. These clears were Aero Kings are using the back wall to clip the ball clear. They're doing a great job to get distance and often side on the ball, making sure to get it to safety.
We must say Aero King's backboard defense, as you just mentioned, incredibly good so far. Once again, Solif is up there to protect it. You can see Radio also around, but wait for Cheerio instead, as he's going to have a small argument with the post. You do tend to lose those.
5-point turn.
Yep, well, Cheerio completely outboost. Now an opportunity for a lot to move forward, but every single time he tries to go for something, he is challenged. Magnus has got his opportunity. The ball was placed almost directly at him, but Cheerio yet again in the way, and a lot over-rotates, will not be able to react to the ball cutting across the face of his car. Tries to put this one straight down, does not have the boost to follow up, but I don't think the first touch was good enough at all. 40 seconds, as you mentioned. Aero Kings just need to hold on to this lead.
Now, final 30 seconds. It's looking desperate for Method. We talked a little bit about their loss to Flipside and how bad that would have been for their mentality moving forward, but this, I think, is even worse. Right after getting picked up, they've dropped to the rivals Penta, and now they're struggling against Aero Kings in a match that they need to win.
It's done.
4-1.
They know
Cheerio
it right there.
finds the net.
You can see the joy on their face. I don't think even the Aero
Another
Kings
own goal.
expected this.
What?
And
It's bizarre.
Is effectively over at this point. Aero Kings, a bubble team in Europe for such a long time, are about to pick up their biggest win in their history. And what a win it is indeed. Method are going to fall short yet again. They will not reach day 2, but the Aero Kings, they march on.
Upset of the tournament in what will be the final series of the day. Aero Kings take down Method. The looks on their faces tell half the story. They don't know what just happened, but they're going to be delighted. They're in the money. They're in the final day at DreamHack Summer in Sweden. And although we have given Method some credit for that victory, huge praise to these guys for holding strong in defense against one of the most dangerous teams in Europe, some of the best aerial players in the game. And congratulations and best luck to them moving forward. Will they be able to make more upsets happen? Wavefunk, over to you.
Oh my goodness, I've been wanting the upset all day, and we finally got one here. You predicted the 3 games. You predicted that Aero Kings would win game number 1, and it just came down to that 3rd game. You're so close there. Such a good series between these 2 teams.
An amazing series, and that's the reason I was talking about the game 1 win is so important is because in a best of 3, when you're going up against a team that is better than you, they feel a lot of pressure if they lose that first game. And if you amplify that with a LAN scenario, which is what we have here, and they're on stage and they might feel even more of the pressure, and the team that's considered the underdog feels less and less of the pressure. They're just continuing to do their thing. They don't expect to win, and that's what ends up happening.
Yeah, no, just a complete kind of collapse we saw in Game 3 from Method. 2 own goals, one significantly more flagrant than the others, but you saw the celebrations there from Aero Kings as they knew with that 3rd one going in that they had this game. They will stay alive against all odds. A professional team dropping to a local team here. This is the story we were hoping for. This is what can happen at LAN. This is what can happen at DreamHack. How you doing, Lawler?
Doing great, especially after that match. Like, that's what we look forward to in Rocket League is big upsets. And what better way to do it than here, you know, on the big stage.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
Incredible plays there. Cheerio, Radio, and Solid, people that many Rocket League people had never heard any of these people. I knew Cheerio from Season 1 of RLCS, I believe it was on Aeriality, but other than that, I had never heard of either of these guys. And going up against Magnus, Metz, and a lot, who we've been watching all season, and to see them come up here and get the win, keep themselves alive, knocking Method out, what a way to end day 1.
I mean, you heard it from plenty of players that we interviewed throughout the day, like, yo, we're looking out for Method. They're a really strong team, and out of nowhere, it's like, yo, just kidding, Aero's here, and we're here to stay. It's pretty cool.
Aero Kings taking the win here. We got Radio here on the line. How are you doing, man?
Doing really well right now.
So you got to be on cloud 9 right now. How was I want to ask, like, as a team that most people have never heard of, what were your expectations for DreamHack coming in here? What would it have to have been for you guys to be like, oh yeah, that was fun, we had a good time? I
mean, going in, we had an expectation, like our expectation was to get through the first day and get top 8, but it was not what we expected. Like, it was really hard.
Yeah, for sure. And I want to know, because I know this has happened to me when I play Rocket League, when a team own goals early on, and it's a very important game. I play in ranked, I'm like, oh, if I win this game, I level up or something like that, and it starts with the other team own goaling. I can sometimes feel like, oh my goodness, I've been gifted this, and I'm so scared of blowing it because all I have to do is defend now or something like that, and then I end up messing it up. How did you guys keep your wits about you, knowing that they had kind of given you the game there?
I mean, we're just screaming in comms, just like, stay back, have one back, and then challenge everything, don't give them anything, and it succeeded.
Could you maybe elaborate on your mentality as a team going into the game? Did you guys talk about the specific strategy that you wanted to employ, or anything that you saw in Method's defense that you were trying to expose, or did you just go in, play your style?
We just wanted to get in their face, like really pressure them, and then always challenge them. Like that was our main point. Always challenge, always have one on them, but always have one back as well.
Yeah, fantastic. Getting the two-man pressure up front, but have the one-line defense in the background. And it works out for you guys here, cleanly taking the wins here and getting the 3-game victory. What a way to end. We've been wanting an upset all day, and you guys finally gave it to us.
Give it to us on the last game of the day as well.
Yeah.
Like, we've been waiting for it all day.
Series.
Really long day, and what better way to wrap it up than a big upset? So good stuff, man.
Congratulations.
So what do you think you guys are going to do tonight in preparation for tomorrow?
Probably sleep, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
We're all gonna go home actually. We're not sleeping here on show.
So you are all local players, is that correct?
Me and Sherry are from Gothenburg,
Okay.
and Solif is from Stockholm.
Okay, that's so cool that you guys are actually just from the area. So did you sign up just because it happened to be so close?
Well, yeah, I was supposed to go with my real team, like Unspecified / Planet Key,
Okay.
that we done in Marvin, but we couldn't find an organization. So I decided to pick up some Swedish players to actually go here.
That's an amazing story.
That's really, really cool. It's fun to see that they're the orgs, who are flying their players out, and then there's the people from the local area who are just like, I just want to come out and try. And this is your home turf. You guys have to feel more comfortable than Rogue coming over and having all the jet lag to deal with and stuff. And you're like, we just drive up and just play.
Well, yeah, probably since we're like staying at home, sleeping at home, it's like normal.
That must be an advantage in a way. Do you feel?
Yeah, we went in with the mentality that we have a bit of an advantage, like sleeping at home and living at home. So it's a good thing.
Is this your first DreamHack?
It is. It is.
Yeah? How are you liking it so far?
It's really good. It's a lot of people, and it's really big.
Loud, right? Like,
yeah.
EDM never stops playing ever the entire event. Like, it's just nonstop.
It was funny when we were in here while they were setting the venue up and the guys were testing the sound system. They were playing like really smooth, like John Mayer relaxed guitar music, and we were like, "Oh, this is so nice." And they're like, "Yeah, they're doing this now because for the next 3 days it's gonna be nothing but the entire day." So they're just kind of getting it out of their systems while they could. But fantastic, fantastic stuff. Cannot wait to see you guys play tomorrow. You're now in the money, in the top 8. Got any final words here, man?
I just wanted to give a shout out to my team though. Ryu, my coach, Rafi, our sub, Marvin and Danny.
Fantastic.
My main players.
Awesome. Beautiful stuff. Guys, this has been an amazing day 1 here of the DreamHack Championship for Rocket League. We can take a look at the schedule for what we've got in store for tomorrow. A bunch of matches happening as we are in the top 8. This is the bracket, as you can see. It shows you the top 16 as the rounds that we've been going through there. Kind of shows the lower brackets in the blue with the upper bracket in the orange. So that first part all mostly filled out. And then you can see the best of 8. The next round in is what we will be starting with tomorrow. A few of our matches already outlined. Penta Esports or Penta Sports up against Rogue. Diffuse versus Aero Kings. You guys are going to be able to take on Pashy and Scrubkilla off the bat tomorrow. How you feel about that match?
It's going to be a lot of fun. Like, they're also a pickup team. They're not an organization, so it's going to be nice playing another of those.
Yeah, fantastic. Good attitude, just approaching it like any other game. Just keep doing your thing. I like just keep the 2-1 thing going. I think you guys have a very decent chance of beating them there as well. So love to see all the stuff we've got going. It's going to be a great day. I know I'm going to go get some sleep too. Just all get rested up so we can crown a champion here at DreamHack tomorrow. It's going to be fantastic. But for me, Karma, Lawler, Radio, for Shogun, and Johnny Boy, and I think I've covered everybody. Also, all the other players who came out and did interview. For everyone here at DreamHack, thank you for watching. Tune in tomorrow. It's going to be exciting. We're going to have a great time. Stay safe. Good night.